Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Emily, the home bookkeeper, and on this channel, I help business owners and fellow freelance bookkeepers navigate the ever-changing QuickBooks Online, while also sharing insightful videos on all things business ownership and finance. Recently, I was reading in Ellevest magazine that even pre-2020, nearly 2/3 of women counted money as their number one source of stress. But lately, and maybe you've noticed this, that stress seems to have gotten worse. In Ellevest's own financial wellness survey last fall, nearly half of women said they believed that financial stress has taken a toll on their mental and emotional health. Heightened cases of burnout, record inflation, a volatile stock market, and current events certainly have not helped. So if you're feeling financially crunched, take heart. You're not alone, not even close. And while there aren't any easy solutions to the underlying systemic problems at play here, there are plenty of small things you can do to help manage your personal financial stress in the meantime. Whether you're itching to plan a deep dive money date with yourself, or carving out even 5 minutes feels like a whole thing, here are some actions you can take right now to check in with yourself. You need to check your account balances. If you can't see your balances can't see you. Just kidding. If only this followed the kid rule of invisibility. At first glance, this recommendation might sound like a huge stressor, especially if the answer to "how much do I have?" is not enough. But in general, it's much better to know how much you have rather than have the anxiety of not knowing hanging over your head. Knowledge is the first ingredient of control. Connect your last purchase to one of your core values. When you're living your life in alignment with your values, you're more likely to feel content and in control, which makes them a great tool to reframe the assumptions and fleeting emotions that play into everyday spending choices. So, what's the last thing you bought? Not counting like groceries, although food definitely counts as a core value. Was that expense related to one of your core values? In a journal, or in your notes app, write yourself a quick note explaining why and how. I like to do this mentally. Anytime I am at a department store or a really trendy vintage shop and I find something that I like, I think to myself, is it sustainable? Is it something I'm going to get use out of? Etc. Pay an extra $5 towards your credit card balance with the highest interest rate. Sure, it's not much, but it's something you can do right now. And it's 5 fewer bucks you'll have to pay interest on. For those of you saying, "But I don't have credit card debt," put that $5 towards your current saving or investing goal. Make a new savings goal a fun one. Got a wish list full of big purchases you'd like to save up for? How about a bucket list with all of the places you want to go? Or maybe you just want to start an FU fund so you can quit your job. Pick a goal that fires you up and start an account for it. Put $5 in there. That's it. That's the thing. Forgive yourself. All those negative thoughts you've had about your spending, chances are those are being supported by really toxic cultural myths about women and money. What's spent is spent. Give yourself grace and permission to wipe your money slate clean, and you'll have a little more brain space to make a plan for future spending. By the way, the best way to stop feeling guilty in the long term? Build a plan and trust it. Automate your savings, investments, and payments. You know how everybody talks about paying yourself first? Well, that's because it works. Automating savings and investments like your retirement contributions can not only make that a lot easier, but also help you rest easy knowing you've put your money to work. Lots of banks also have autosave options that will round up to the nearest dollar and transfer the difference to your savings. Others will autosave a percentage of every paycheck when it hits your bank account. Reflect on your money mindset. Earlier, you forgave yourself for all the negative money thoughts. Now that you have a little bit more time, reflect on the toxic social messaging that got you to that bad place and replace it with facts. For example, that women are more risk averse and thus actually tend to see better returns than men do. Or maybe you journal about how your family did money while you were growing up. What did you take from that? Text the group chat about money. The possibilities are endless here. Maybe try what's everyone's go-to money tip. Anyone paid off their credit cards lately? Please gas me up. This is hard. Okay, I feel like I'm on a different planet trying to negotiate a raise at work. Can we all do a salary gut check? Whatever you decide, the goal is to keep breaking down that taboo that makes money such a source of stress in the first place. See if you can spot any patterns in your recent spending habits. If any of those habits aren't aligned with your core values, that could be driving stress. Make a mental plan on how you'll reroute yourself before you swipe that card on the thing you don't really want. Do some salary research. Maybe it's time to ask for a raise. Maybe your coworker with the same title and same job description gets paid $10,000 more than you do. Or maybe it's time to move up and out from your current role. It's worth taking a look at least. It's a candidate's market out there, and employers are getting competitive when it comes to pay. And I have a video on my channel that talks all about tips and tricks on getting the pay that you deserve. Build a budget. I've tried budgeting and it doesn't work for me, you may be thinking. If so, I guess you're trying to do budgeting the way you're told you're supposed to, like keeping a restrictive diet, rather than in a way that actually works for your life. Maybe it's time to try a new strategy, one that will get you excited about what your budget can do for you, rather than what it's keeping you from. It'll take a little brain power, but the end result will be built to last. Do some prep for the upcoming week. For example, if your food budget feels like it's getting a little bit out of control, try assessing the contents of your fridge or pantry first and get creative with meal prep. Some websites like All Recipes, Supercook, Yumly, etc. will spit out recipes based on the supplies you have in your fridge. Also, consider a capsule grocery list. Make something you can eat for lunch for 4 or 5 days. I'm a huge fan of bowl food. Like a bunch of good stuff in a bowl. You really can't go wrong with that. Now you'll have one less cost to worry about this week. Calculate how much you need for an emergency fund and make a savings plan. The general range that is recommended is 3 to 6 months worth of your take-home pay. But if that feels overwhelming, try starting small with just one. Organize your debts. What do you owe? What is the interest rate on each balance? And how long will it take you to pay them off if you're only paying the minimum? I've been there. What might help is to make an official list that answers all of those questions. Group your debts by high interest, 10% of interest and above, medium interest, 5 to 10%, and low interest, under 5%. And sort them by amount. Then either now, if you still have the energy after listening to all of these tips, or in the near future, make a plan to pay them off. And here is your final tip. Get your retirement plan in order. Now, this can be actually pretty fun if you let it. I promise. Now, you can start an IRA, which is an individual retirement account, through Ellevest. I will leave a link with some perks in the description box below. Or you can reach out to a local financial planner and make an appointment to visit them in the office. Just starting with one thing. If you got through that entire list and the only thing still on your mind is help, I get it. That's what stress is made of. But I found that the number one driver of women's financial confidence, i.e. the opposite of stress, is actually doing just the damn thing. Just do it. Do the damn thing. Even tackling just one of those really short ones in the beginning is bound to give you at least a little relief. Then, if and when you have the energy, you can tackle another, then another. The motivation accumulates, and so does the confidence. All it takes is a simple start. For more business resources, my online self-paced home bookkeeper masterclass, business supplies, gadgets, must-haves, and more, make sure to check out edjconsultinggroup.com/resources, linked in the description box below. And of course, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you'll never miss an upload. And if you have any video or tutorial requests, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And for even more behind-the-scenes content of Life as a Home Bookkeeper, feel free to follow me on Instagram @EmmaDawn and connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you need more assistance, personal financial coaching, or bookkeeping and payroll management, feel free to email or visit edjconsultinggroup.com. My firm is fully inclusive and ready to help you along wherever you may be in your entrepreneurship or personal wealth building journey.